If you suspect that grammar is a problem in your paper, follow these steps. First, pick one body paragraph of your research paper. If you have a paper copy, you can single underline the subjects and double underline all the verbs. If you have an online copy, then highlight the subjects one color and highlight the verbs a different color in every single sentence. Many cigarette companies is the subject. Had to keep making is the verb. We won't worry about quotes because if you quoted it correctly, there shouldn't be any grammar errors. These flavor methods would distract or confuse. Menthol helps. Menthol cigarettes are used. An increasing number of cigarette brands reference many youth and adults perceive. Cigarette filters give. Flavored cigarettes were used. Next, check for the following. Subject-verb agreement. If you have only one subject, is the verb singular. If you have a plural subject or multiple subjects, is the verb plural. Okay? Cigarette companies had to keep making. Perfect. Flavor methods would distract or confuse. Perfect. Menthol helps. Menthol cigarettes are used. An increasing number of cigarette brands reference. Many youth and adults perceive. Cigarette filters give. Flavored cigarettes were used. Great. Next, check your sentence variety. Is every sentence in your paper a simple sentence? If we have one subject and one verb, simple sentence. One subject, one verb, simple sentence. One subject, one verb, simple sentence. One subject, one verb, simple sentence. I believe this is a quote. One subject, one verb, simple sentence. One subject, one verb, simple sentence. In that case, we want to combine sentences to make complex sentences, and you need to watch your punctuation when you do that. Here we have an example sentence. Crime is an offense that merits community condemnation and punishment, usually by way of fine or imprisonment. This is different from a civil wrong, a tort, which is an action against an individual that requires compensation or restitution. In this case, we want to eliminate the vague pronoun this. So we can combine the sentence. I have 5 ways listed, but there are a variety of other ways as well. In our first one, we use a positives. Crime, an offense that merits community condemnation and punishment by way of fine or imprisonment, is different from a civil wrong, an action against an individual that requires compensation or restitution. The second example, we use a subordinating conjunction, whereas. Crime is an offense that merits community condemnation and punishment, whereas a civil wrong or tort is an action against an individual that requires compensation or restitution. You can see there that the contrast is clear. In example 3, crime is an offense that merits community condemnation and punishment, semicolon, on the other hand, comma, a civil wrong or tort is an action against an individual that requires compensation or restitution, and we inserted a transition phrase to connect the two independent clauses. In the fourth example, unlike a civil wrong, tort, which is an action against an individual that requires compensation or restitution, crime is an offense that merits community condemnation and punishment, usually by way of fine or imprisonment. We used a contrasting adverb, unlike, to connect the two independent clauses. And the last example, crime is different from civil wrong in that the former merits community condemnation and punishment, in contrast with the latter, which requires compensation or restitution. So there you have 5 different ways to combine 2 independent clauses into one sentence. Try some of those on your sentences to add variety to your sentences.